We've got mic up. All right, guys, we are going live.
Yes.
We are live. Hello.
Yes.
What's
Hello.
happening?
Welcome to another episode of Aussie taking over the NBA. It is a wet Sunday morning.
It is very wet.
The 11th. What is it? The 17th of the 3rd. I don't even know what day it is. It's a Sunday. Shit's going on. There's a lot of basketball that we're going to go through today.
A lot of basketball.
Is there any other news that we need to go through before we start? Just going straight through to the games.
No, let's go through Dante Exum and just...
Yeah, the poor bastard, man. Like, right patella tendon. Another tear in his tendon. Jesus.
The
how
guy,
lucky can you
his
be?
body is not up to it, I don't think.
Is it an unfortunate injury or is he...
I think you have to see the spate of unfortunate injuries and just think that maybe he cannot handle an 82-game season.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
He's got, another 2 years on his contract, obviously, but I think he'll be cap offload at some point.
I think they're going to keep going with him anyway because it's important for him because they've made that cash injection for him. They've just got to maybe slow his workload down a little bit and just kind of ease him back in. But they've obviously got the best kind of facilities. It's not like they're not amateur. It's not amateur stuff.
No, it's not amateur sport. But I think you've invested 4 rookie years into him. You've invested 3 rookie years, I should say. You get to his first year back. He plays 46 games and he's out indefinitely.
Yeah,
and you're thinking, well, he came back, didn't he?
He had a good run. He had a good run for probably about 30 games, and then obviously coming back after he had that foot injury, really bad rolled ankle, and then now he's got that knee tendon. But I think the knee is probably a bit more of a freak injury, like a sprain or something like that.
Freak injuries, aren't they? I don't know what it is, but
it's a blow, man. You can hear it in both of us just being like, damn it, man.
I mean, it's a blow for our World Cup as well. He would have been an amazing part of that. He definitely will not take place. I don't think the Jazz will risk releasing him for that, which is a real shame because that slasher would work very well at the 1 or 2 in the World Cup squad. So that's going to be another position opening up for an Aussie potentially to take on Dante's role. But obviously... Luckily, we have extreme depth at the moment.
We've got a lot of people there. We've got Delhi Mills, even some guys like Sobey coming out of the NBL.
Sobey, Creek.
Goulding could even probably play as
you'd have to think Goulding would play in a FIBA rules tournament.
Yeah.
You'd have to think as a catch-and-shoot style player. We really don't have anyone better. I'd like to see Josh Green in there. I know he's only 19, but he's McDonald's All-American. There's no reason if he doesn't want to play, he should be in that team.
Yeah,
100%. I know that probably won't be the case. We may see him at the Olympics next year, but he should be in that World Cup team. What that dude is doing is crazy.
So is he one and done too?
Yeah, he'll be one and done for sure. So he's not doing 4 years of college.
This year's draft, you reckon?
Yeah, next year. He's starting college now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, next year's draft, March Madness, he plays next year, and then we'll go into the 2020 draft, along with Big Harry Froling as well. It's another mobile center that can stretch the floor and shoot.
Yeah, he can shoot the ball too. It's really good. It's good, man. We've got a lot of good stocks coming through.
It's amazing, really. That it's funny because all these kind of 80s American ex-NBL players are all having their kids in Australia, marrying Australian women, and then all these guys are growing up to go play in the NBA, and they're bigger than their dads were. It's
good,
nuts.
Good strategy. I like that strategy.
It is, yes. Come forth and propagate with our women.
This says the man who owns all the women in this country.
Yeah, right.
But that's really about it. Obviously came back. I mean, he looked all right too, and then got that injury again, which sucks.
Yeah,
man.
There needs to be some serious workload done next year. He should probably never play back-to-backs.
They've got to really manage his workload a little bit. I think the Jazz as an organization probably have enough invested into him.
They do, but they've never realized that investment.
Well, they have, like, from their side, they have enough to just go, let's try and work this out, map this out.
Yeah.
He's not someone who it's just someone they brought in. Who you came in, all right, just go.
Yeah, so, they've invested and they gave him the 3-year extension with decent money as well. Maybe it's something that there's some undertables where he takes a pay cut to stay on longer. I don't know. But, they're going to have to realise their investment soon because the investment is not maturing. And that's not through any fault of his own. It's his body that's failing him.
They got a lot of guards too. Neto, Rubio, Dante,
I don't think Rubio will
Mitchell.
be there next year.
Yeah, I think he's probably the main one that's going to go. And then...
You really need Donovan Mitchell just to take over the team.
Yeah.
He's good enough. He's good enough. He's that kind of Jordan-ish style player. Can drive and kick through 15 people.
Yeah.
In weird situations.
He's kind of a little bit like Russell Westbrook light, really.
Yeah, he is very athletic. We go on to Big Ben Simmons, who has been carving it up, doing a lot better from the free throw since All-Star break as well. Hitting over 70%, which is a big improvement. I think when you're going down the stretch of games where he, playing to the finals and in the finals, he's going to get fouled a lot. That's a strategy teams are going to take to stop him getting to the rim. So if he can get that 75, 80% free throw line, get that back off into the end of the season, that's going to be a tactic that teams are maybe unwilling to take. And he will have more of his way. But man, him and Embiid, as soon as Embiid came back, looking like they're gelling again. Just some
he's got to make people take that off the table. Like he's got to take that off the table with his free throw shooting.
Yeah,
I think people are going to try and do it. They're going to try and attack him, like hack him, even at the rim, like close him up. Definitely, if he gets free,
wrapped him.
It's going to be a big thing in the playoffs. But I think it's up to him. Like he's been shooting the ball better. It's up to him to take that off the table. I think he can do it, but he's going to have to really come to the fore on that. But he's even been shooting the ball better. Like his stats are all up. His assists are a little bit down. Blocks are a little bit down. But I mean, that's not what he's here therefore. He's got more facilitators on the team this year. Jimmy Butler's taking more of a point role in a lot of the plays. Tobias Harris is taking more of that 1-2 game away from him with Boban. So when Boban and Tobias on it's that 1-2 because those guys are very close and play well together. But just. This team is weird. It's like an enigma where they should just blow every team out of the water. They really should, but they don't. They kind of cruise and then just break away a little bit and cruise. There doesn't seem to be like there's any effort put in. Yeah. They've lost a silly few games. I mean, since Embiid's been back. It is Embiid. It's the Embiid show. Really, when you look at it, Simmons can only do so much. Just Embiid defensively changes up so much in that team. Well, he's been out for a few weeks, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's missed 8 games.
Come back. And they've looked a lot better. Like it's not necessarily they're winning games. They're going to win games. It's great that he's there. It's things function better.
Yeah, they look better as a team. I mean, Boban was out too, which is
and he's come back. I think he's come back as well.
They came back last game, and he's 12 points off the bench, just dunking. He's crazy to watch.
He's kind of like Shaq, where if he has the ball pretty much
within 3 feet of the rim,
2 feet, it's just straight up,
or just like no jump rebounds over everyone.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because I don't think Shaq had the wingspan that Boban does either.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but Shaq had power that
he
Boban
just
doesn't really have.
Yeah, just muscled everyone out of the way with massive body. Should we get on to the games?
Yes, we should probably go because we've got a lot to go through.
Got a lot of games to get through today, guys. We'll start off with the Dallas and Magic, and Brokoff is really out of existence.
Yeah, he's not getting any minutes at all.
No, so I don't know what they're doing down the stretch. He's obviously on a 2-year deal. I would be like, we're second last. We're not going to make the playoffs. Let's get guys in that are maybe on a 2-year deal. See if we can't move something together, create some pick and roll opportunities. Because Brokoff seems to be all right on the 1-2 pick and roll. But it's nothing.
Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed with how this is kind of happening too, because Hardaway Jr.'s come in and then they're giving the ball to Brunson to do a lot. That's fine. Then obviously Luka's handling the ball as well. They've got Powell and Kleber, and even Mejri's getting a few minutes. It's almost like they haven't designed anywhere that Brokoff fits any of these lineups in a team that's tanking, like obviously tanking, but not really tanking at the same time. Surely you can give this guy 7-8 minutes a night, no matter what. It's to me, he's out of the rotation, like completely. Yeah, it's like garbage time or nothing basically. And a few games, they've fought hard and gone through and nearly won games where some of them where they just, at the end of the game they just basically threw the game, and you were just like,
This is a bit weird. Yeah.
Rockets was one of those. Spurs was a little bit like that as well. We'll go through those a little bit later.
It is the Dirk farewell tour as well. You have to remember that.
Yeah.
Dirk's taking probably a lot of minutes up from Brokoff.
Surely he can get 7 minutes a game. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
In the rotation, like playing for end of first quarter, early second quarter. Like he was doing that when they had nobody, when they were making those trades. He was basically forced into the roster from there. I don't know why they just went away from that. There's Hardaway Jr., Brunson, Finney-Smith. That's kind of the only guys that are in his way. Yet he's not getting any room at all. So, yeah, a bit bummed about that. But obviously we'll go through some of the other stats later on with the Dallas, and we're going to have a bit more of a chat about that. Cavs and Heat.
Yes.
Delhi got a concussion. I didn't realize he was out with a concussion.
Yeah, concussion, yes.
Against the Nets. Last week we went through that Nets game. Apparently right at the end of the game, he collected an elbow. Coach Larry Drew said he was a little fuzzy, a little woozy, so he put them in a concussion protocol. He still hasn't, as of today, I don't think he still is back. So that's a bit of a worry because he's a high-octane kind of guy who... Yeah,
I mean, usually you want to take 3 grams out. If he's actually got a concussion, then yeah, but I watched, obviously we're going to get to it later, but the Philly game where Dangadell just kind of just shouts the whole time and no one passes him the ball. It's, we look at his stats. I was watching a few of the games. Obviously, he's not a lot on the highlight reels, but then to watch a whole game that he's actually actively facilitated in, they just don't go to him at all.
Nah, he kind of stands in the corner and does nothing, eh?
It's just like you're not running any plays for him. You're not really running any plays for yourself. It's just Chetty playing a bit of ISO ball and, trying to roll on the weak side and roll to the basket. And that's really all it is.
And then kind of Sexton ISO and then Kevin Love in the corner shoots a 3 and... It's kind of, but you can see that their roster in general is still 4 or 5 actual NBA pieces away from even having something there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can look at that and go, well, Kevin Love and Sexton have kind of pulled them out of the fire a few times. And Chetty, he got injured and he came back and he's been pretty good, and that's fair enough, keeping Dangadell out of the side. But, like, they're so badly coached. Like, I don't know how they beat Toronto. Like, we'll go through that later. But, and then they won a couple of games because Kevin Love can shoot, and then they lost a couple of games because they can't run anything. Like they don't really run much.
Their backup unit is terrible.
And then Zizic has been playing pretty well, and they don't have another center at all.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Or Tristan Thompson.
But he's been injured.
He's injured. Nance has been injured as well.
Yeah.
So they're kind of just crap.
It's hard
it's
because
very bad.
Some of these are like 2-3 year period, like rebuilds, and especially like with the LeBron James suck zone of him coming out of the franchise and just sucking the whole thing down.
Vortex.
We'll go on to Pistons at the Bulls. Good win for the Pistons.
Man, Pistons the hot team, and then they just go and put up 60 points at 70 points in a game later on, and just like this is strange. Like you played so well, but you can understand why the Vortex is sucked out of their point scoring ability, because really it's Andre Drummond at the dunking on the weak side at the rim. It's Blake Griffin's ass for 40 minutes. Bit of Ish Smith. Luke Kennard's probably the only one like, this dude has actually got a bit of a future.
And then Reggie Jackson as well. It's like, they're 5 different guys where you go, oh, right, you set up an offense for this guy. And then but there's no point having these other guys then. Yeah. Oh, okay, we'll set up offense for this guy. It's like, well, then that makes these 4 players redundant. Like which way are you going here? And I think Dwayne Casey's trying to work that out, but he knows he can just toss the ball to Blake Griffin, and Blake Griffin just backs down from 17 feet all the way to the hoop. But Kennard is someone where you go,
all right, run him on the screen.
Yeah, dial him up some plays. And they did that a couple of times. Not in this game, but I'm not sure if it was this game, but like maybe last week we were talking about it. I think he hit like 5 of 6 from 3. Where you're like, oh, they were actually going to him as a proper option. They don't do that enough. They kind of get back into the let's run stuff for Blake Griffin again. Yeah, let's run Blake.
But Luke Kennard's kind of like, all right, we got 3 seconds left. Kick it out to him. And then if a team runs you off the line, you really need to play that screen and curl. He can shoot off the curl like Redick and Shamet. So
any catch and shoot really.
Yeah.
Drive and kick to him. They don't really have. They have Blake Griffin obviously as a driving kick guy, but he's
not really. He's a back down and he doesn't really drive.
Scorer. Yeah. They don't have that slasher where you could get someone like Kennard open. I suppose we should talk about Thonmaker. Obviously, 16 points, 2 rebounds. 16 minutes, 2 points, and then only 3 rebounds.
Three blocks
though.
He's a block hunter.
It's weird watching him on the court though, man. It's like he doesn't fit. It's like he's brought the same. I don't fit in this Milwaukee team to Detroit.
I don't really fit. This is the style I play, and so I'm just going to play that style wherever I go. When you really no, you need to adapt your game. They need a 3-and-D player. Really, if you're playing, well, he's kind of playing Blake's, and then he plays a little bit of 5 as well. But really, he should just be that stretch 4 that can come on the strong side in a blocking opportunity on the defense, and then run down the court and hit the wing 3. That's what he really needs to be.
Yeah,
that's all you need to do in this league, and you can hit 3 or 4 of those a night. You've done exactly what you need to do for your team. But he seems just to be. He comes across a lot and into the key, and then just hunts around for blocks. You see him just get blasted a little bit on the lateral. Yeah,
and body size too.
Yeah.
And then you've got obviously Drummond there. It's it doesn't... But it goes back to that same argument where you're Thon comes in and then you're yeah, but none of this works for him. And then, okay, bring him out and put Drummond or someone else in. And you're yeah, but none of this works for them either. But then again, they have been winning games. It's kind of been a concerted effort. Let's pick up our intensity and pick up our game. It's not been, they're running something that works for them.
No,
and
they're just
hustling
more. He's a good hustle guy. Thon's always a hustle guy. Always play hard. But again, I think they need to go away from an Aussies and look at how they're going to...
Well, there's so many teams in the league now where a coach comes in and he's just got to work with what he's got. Yeah. And they basically have to try and work out how to construct a roster, run sets, do things with this group before they finally go, all right, well, I don't need that guy. Yeah. I can fix this guy. I can move this guy. And it takes a couple of seasons.
It does,
And Dwayne Casey's a good coach. Somebody you're going to stick by.
He's kind of been stuck into a bit of a dead horse, but he's managed to pull something out of them because they're obviously sitting in 7th or 8th at the moment.
6th or 7th, yeah.
And that's pretty good for a team that really started off the season well and then went through a big lull. But seems to be coming home fairly strong, and we will probably see them against the Bucks in the Bucks or the Raptors first round. It'd be a good meeting. It'd be a good playoff run.
I think so. It would be good for Dwayne Casey to go back and play against the Raptors.
Definitely. Rockets and Philly.
Yeah, how'd that one go for you?
Embiid. It was no Embiid. It was Capella having a field day. And, I mean, if you don't have... Embiid takes that whole team and just makes it completely null void against Houston. It's just... If you got Harden and Capella on the floor with Fareed, Bolden, for my mind, isn't a center. He's a stretch 4. And Amir Johnson is, a good vet, but really not serviceable against...
He started in this game.
Yeah, he's really not serviceable against He's not played enough minutes. He's getting old. That kind of drive and little lob for Capella dunk is fairly gold standard. And that Houston played well with a good sharp lineup. Simmons didn't have a great night, 7 turnovers, but 15 points, 6
of 15, not bad.
2 steals and a block. Bolden had 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 point. Pretty disappointing night, but again, it all centers around Embiid. Jimmy Butler was pretty woeful in this game too, but he's come back really strongly in the last few games and playing just Jimmy Butler ISO. He's not smooth, he's not quick, he's just very crafty.
Yeah.
And an athlete. He just gets to the rim and get bang shots and things like that. No Boban for that game as well, which means that we're really down to nothing. A lot of Simmons defending the 5 as well.
Houston kind of clog up the lanes too. For a mid-range operator of Jimmy Butler or DeRozan, they have those guys like Tucker and Eric Gordon that just get in your way. They're
Chubb. Dudes
that put shots off. Obviously Philly's not going to have to worry about the Western teams. So
you're thinking that they're probably going to play the Celtics first round. That's what you're thinking.
I hope not, man.
What are we at the moment? I'm thinking the way the stretch of games that both teams have, I'm thinking they're going to play the Celtics in the first round, which it's going to be, it's a bad first round matchup for basketball lovers. Great series. Don't get me wrong.
I'd prefer that in the second round, man, or the conference.
Or they're going to play the Pistons.
Well,
Pistons or Nets.
That. Yeah, I'm hoping that.
And I don't want to play the Nets because the Nets are the dark horse for me.
Yeah, the Nets are like Sacramento.
Yeah,
East.
Yeah, they can just go off for like Joe Harris can go off for 30 on a night. You're like, and then the next night score 3 points. And you're like, you just don't want to get him on that night. But I think with Embiid in the team, it's pretty straightforward. But yeah, they're in third spot now. Celtics are up. Pacers,
This game actually was the game where Simmons blocked Harden's step back.
Yes.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yes.
His defense has gotten so much
better.
better.
Oh my God, yes. Just
so much better.
Look at how he runs guys off the line.
It's hard. Like, defending Houston is bloody hard, man. Like, there's Harden ISO where he'll just shoot the ball and it'll go in, and you're like, you couldn't have defended that any differently.
Yeah.
You just shot it and it went in. And then you've got, like, routine problems that I see when people play that team is you left Tucker in the corner, 3. Like, damn it. Like, or Gerald Green comes off the bench and he's left open at the 11 o'clock spot, and you're just like, Gerald Green, like, and then in this game, you kind of need Embiid to basically plant in that center spot to make everything else work. Like, this game felt like they were just rushing around, like, oh, there's a hole here, quick plug it. Oh, there's a hole over here, quick. And then every time Houston got a little bit of space, they were left kind of having to go like, oh, they're over here now, like, quick over here. Like, they kind of just, they're nullified. Like, maybe Philly's scoring against a team like this it doesn't come in bunches.
Well, I mean, when you shoot 3 of 26 on a night, beyond 3.
And JJ Redick, I mean...
He was on a bad stretch of games here as well. Mike Scott, Sticker Man.
Sticker Man. But you can't run that stuff for Redick against Houston. It's like...
Well, you can't run it without Embiid because you need a strong screener.
Yeah.
And kind of Simmons took that over, but Embiid's a bigger body. Like, you can run it. You just have to run it with...
And switching their whole blobby switching thing is just, it's fucking
doesn't work.
ugly to watch,
and Bolden can't run a hard screen for Redick. So Redick's really coming around on contested curls. But if you look at when Embiid does it to when everyone else does it, then that's why it works so well. It's the 1-2. Same with Boban and Harris. You look at them come around screens and trying to fight around Boban. It's ridiculous. But yeah, not a good night from beyond the arc. 3 of 26. Mike Scott missing all. JJ Redick 1 from 9. Ugh.
Yeah. He looks like he's slowing down a little bit too, Redick. In the last couple of games I've been watching, he doesn't have that step. Really.
Yeah,
like, remember when Corey Brewer was playing and you're just like, wow, like he's still got that spring and that speed. Whereas I watch Redick now and I just kind of go,
Redick's 35, man.
I know, but that's
like
kind of starting to disappear. But at the same time, like I feel like the overall structure of Philly is growing around Redick rather than... you have to, like, Redick has to do everything. He's got to do it all. Like, I feel like a lot of these guys are coming on, like, the acquisition of Harris has kind of made him into a different player. Like,
yeah, he really is now just a catch and shoot curl player for 20 minutes a night. And if you drop 20, then you're doing really well. And he can.
Yeah, for sure. And even when I said to you, like, he's coming out of the corner now and then creating for Simmons. Like, everyone knows, that's the set for Redick. And then Ben Simmons will sort of drift off to the right side of the key and then cut. And he's open every time, and it's one step to the hoop. And they've done that a few times, which is good to see JJ Redick playmaking because if he's not knocking down shots, what else does he have, basically?
Yeah.
And the playmaking is really going to help.
It does. It opens up because when he comes around the curl and passes in, Simmons is just going to get
wide open pretty much because the whole play is collapsed over that side, and Simmons just has like a wide open lane pretty much every time. They've run that a few times, which is good. Little Brett Brown magic. Move on to the Jazz at the Grizzlies, and they chunked.
But it was one of those Conley nights, and Valanciunas had a good game. You're just like, what is Memphis?
I know. It's
what
weird,
is Memphis?
It?
Is it a basketball team, or is just it's just like a gap filler?
It's why did they trade Marc Gasol and not Conley? You know,
they
what
couldn't
I mean?
get what they wanted for Conley.
Well, in terms of like their strategy, you had to get rid of both of those and go, right, start again. Like, because where one is not and where one is, it's like, it's like kind of Memphis, but not really. Like, it's Conley, yet no Gasol. Or if it was no Conley, then Gasol's still there. Like, this doesn't...
Remember,
they need to just go, done,
20 games in, these guys were coming first.
I know. And they've just died, absolutely died. What are they at the moment?
Third last,
28 and 41, yeah. But that team looks like that. You
look
at that roster and go...
Yeah. There's no
beyond
depth.
Conley and Gasol, there was nothing. And now
bit of Jared Jackson, and he's kind of died off as well.
Yeah. But I don't know how the Jazz are losing this. Joe Ingles, 35 minutes, 14 points.
91 assists in his last 11 games.
Yeah, man.
He's just become a point guard.
Yeah, he's handling the ball a lot, and that pocket pass for the bigs, Favors and Gobert. I wonder how many of those are just those little pocket passes into the lane. He's doing it really well, and he's finishing well as well. A couple of blocks. I know he got one block in this to Lon Wright at the rim, which was good. 7 assists, but minus 22. He plays a lot of their minutes though, so it's kind of like if they lose, he's gonna cop it. Conley 28, 11 assists. Valanciunas 27 points. Yeah, I don't know what to make of this Memphis team. It's just how they win games. Just like, oh, wow, how'd you lose that game? Yeah. Sort of type of thing. But we'll move on to Celtics Lakers.
Bainesy. Good to see Bainesy back. 16 minutes, 7 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, plus 6 on the night. LeBron James had a good game, and then obviously his minutes restricted to 32, so that was out. God, the Lakers are annoying.
Just how... For the amount of drama surrounding it all.
For such a shit team. But like, in the big scheme of things, they are terrible.
But
they are a terrible team.
The amount of drama that surrounds how shit they are, it doesn't.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Compute. Like, it doesn't compute. Like, it's as if the Phoenix Suns were having an issue. The Lakers are crap. They're turd.
Yeah.
And when you go and say, we want to trade every single one of our players for this guy, and you tell your players that, and it's instigated by this guy on your team, and everyone's just like...
And he's the main guy.
the main guy. It's just like, why do I want to play with you? And you see, I've been watching some of the highlights where they don't pass to LeBron on the fast break, and it's very funny. He's like... It's like, yeah, we're not giving you the ball.
I don't know how that's so much drama, man. I don't understand. Because all he needed to do was just fit into that team.
Yeah.
And just take a step back and just fit. But he halfway through the season, like, it changed, and he was like,
No, get rid of the ball.
I am the team. And you're like, you've been here like 2 months, man. Yeah. Like, what? No, shut up. Like, shut up, play basketball, and then let now Luke Walton might get fired, he's probably going to get fired. Like,
but you can see some of the coaching, lack of coaching, even in their young team, without LeBron, and especially when LeBron wasn't there. So you got this chance when LeBron's out for 18 games to put your team in place and stamp your authority, because they're alienating LeBron. So they're not there. And then they kind of tanked because JaVale McGee was like fighting Luke Walton, and it's just like...
Yeah, and that was Beasley was fighting with Luke Walton, and then they kind of got rid of Beasley.
Yeah, they got rid of Beasley.
And then, like I said at the start of the season, where JaVale's he's not a first option, run your offense through with this guy on the floor. He's like a guy that you have to focus down and hone. They were doing that a little bit at the start of the season, but as it's unraveled, it's just like, he can't be on the floor, man. Like, he gets abused defensively. There's some of the old JaVale stuff keeps happening. But it's like, surely you could keep the whole thing together and work with LeBron. Or does it say that LeBron is just like this force that kind of ruins teams?
Yeah. It's weird. The ultra force running against the immovable object. It's
unstoppable force.
Unstoppable force against the
force. So, yeah, Bainesy, 16 minutes, 7 points, 3 of 5. A good game for him. Like, he's got a lot of size. Lakers don't really have that many good centers. They got rid of Zubac as well. Like, what?
Yeah, he was like the only decent center they had.
And they got rid of him. Who'd they get in that trade? I can't remember who it was.
Hood. No, Clarkson.
No.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, Hood went to thing. They got Zubac.
Portland.
Yeah, and it was a 3-team trade.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
who did they
get for Zubac? Like,
nothing.
What? I'm going to look that up because of my memories. Like, but exactly, it makes you just go, wait, what? Why did you get rid of that guy? Like, who'd you get? I don't fucking remember who they got. But I don't know, man. The Celtics, pretty routine win for them.
Yeah.
They were on a pretty good road trip with, not Zubac trade. After beating the Warriors, they've come in and beat the Clippers, beat the Lakers, and then they come lose to the Clippers. And you're just like, but the Clippers, I don't understand. We'll talk about that after.
Yeah.
Move on, I guess, to Bulls at the Pistons.
Good game for Thon. 6 assists, a block, a steal, a rebound, 3 points. Not shooting the ball well, but some good hustle minutes. Blake Griffin had 28 points in 27 minutes. just some good old fashioned. No Zach LaVine. This is the game where there was no Zach LaVine.
Muscala. That's who they traded him for.
That's well,
And it's like, why did you do that? Like, what the hell was
it's
that?
he hasn't been playing minutes, Muscala.
Nah, and he's been awful. Really,
Yeah.
like after he left Portland, like he was serviceable at Portland, at
Philly.
He was serviceable. Like, oh, you just stand there, come off and shoot threes, no worries. And then his inside game, you just hustle a bit. It's all good.
Yeah.
But in this Lakers team, it's like,
Yeah,
what
but
are you
wouldn't you be
doing
like,
here,
hey, I'm playing for the process. I'm playing with Simmons,
Mm.
Embiid. I'm playing with some good young guys, and you're like, yeah, you're off to the Lakers. Like,
yeah, damn it.
God damn it.
Sorry, yeah, back to Bulls Pistons. Yeah, Thon 21 minutes, 3 points, but 6 assists, man. It's good. He can handle the ball.
Facilitation.
It's just that drive and score. He's got to add. Sorry, that was my foot. He's got to add some drive and score to his repertoire. Like he really does have to add maybe a pump fake and put the ball on the floor.
Even Bolden can put the ball on the floor and get to the rim. Thon
That's
doesn't
never been his thing, man. You
got to be able to. If you're playing on the wing and you get run off the line, there's a clear lane for you to get open and just put it and dunk it. You're 7'1". Like you saw when he played in the Australia game that run down the line. It just kind of maybe he's scared in the NBA that.
Well, he gets stripped low a little bit, and I look at him and I go, okay, yeah, don't put the ball on the floor because that hugely increases the risk of you getting stripped in the lane. But I don't see any progression in that. Is he working on that? I don't really look like the way he plays. I don't really see like he doesn't get into those spots. He doesn't camp at the elbow looking for the pump fake and drive. Doesn't want to get on the ball and do that. But at the same time, look, it's his first year in Detroit. He's got to show a little bit more. I just hate going, man, I want to see more from him because I think he's really talented, but at the same time, like I want to see more application from him and see him grow for his own sake because he's so talented and he can shoot the ball. Feels like he's rushing around trying to do things now, and that's kind of taxing his game a little bit. But I don't know. That's kind of how I feel. We'll move on. Pacers at the 76ers. Good win for the 76ers.
Yeah, this is a great win. Pacers shot like turtle night. No Oladipo, obviously. They're still managing to win. I think a few of the other guys have stepped up with Collison. Miles Turner, obviously, doing quite well.
Yeah, they're still third in the East, man. It's crazy.
Fourth now.
Yeah, according to B-Ball Ref, they're third. But
it's pretty good. But yeah, no, they were pretty turd in this game, and it was just a bad shooting night ball, to be honest with you. No Embiid, this is a good win for the Sixers. Simmons.
No, he was back in this game against the Pacers.
Yeah, no, he didn't play against this game.
No, he did. Embiid mouth, I'm back, roaring to a 76ers crowd that had missed it. Yeah, because he had that tip dunk right at the end of this game, didn't he? Or was that?
That was yesterday.
Oh, sorry. I'm all over the place.
I don't.
But he was back in this game. 33 points, 12 rebounds. That's what I mean. Like he comes back and suddenly all these things start to work again.
Oh yes. Now I remember. He didn't play too well in this game as well.
We had 33 points, 12 rebounds.
This was the game. He did not play well. Mind you, Redick. Ben Simmons 5 fouls. That's right. Down the end. Down the end, they just had foul city. But the Pacers, I don't think they can go past the second round, to be honest with you.
What have they got really in their locker? They kind of got a bit of Miles Turner magic. Sabonis has been playing pretty well. Bogdanovic can shoot the ball, but they still don't look like a team that can get him open looks. Like the way they looked good in that Cavs series last year was they were getting him open looks. They were just like, oh shit, go to Bogdanovic in the corner.
Yeah.
The Cavs can't defend it. Bang, bang, bang. He was knocking down shots. They were winning games. But then they would just go away from that. And you're like, what are we doing here? Who's running their point at the moment?
Collison,
yeah. And he's a rookie, I think, too.
No, he's a vet, isn't he?
There is a Collison in the league, but I thought he was the...
Darren Collison, I think he's 31.
Oh, they drafted his brother because I'm sure they drafted another Collison last year.
It's like the Holidays. There's like 4 of them, isn't there?
Oh, maybe it's a Holiday. Yeah, there's Holidays, Zellers, Plumleys. They're everywhere.
It's just like,
but I don't see like they're well coached though. Nate McMillan in general, but it's not X's and O's. It's just hustle, be better, be there, make sure you're there for that. Like it's not like we're running things for this, we're running to do this, we're defensively doing this to get into transition. Like, it's just, I can't see him getting to the second round, man. Whoever they play, like who are they set to play at the moment?
Celtics.
Well, I hope they play the Celtics because I don't want to see
Philly play. Yeah, you want that to be the final, but the Bucks. Do you want it for Giannis to really do something that no one's ever done before, like this gimmick style game where
I kind of do want to see that.
You kind of want to see that against like a Warriors or a Houston.
Yeah,
the Nuggets aren't going to the finals. There's just no way they can win a 7-game series. They look good, but they're not that good. They're a bit of an enigma this year. It's just really the Joker doing some crazy handling and throwing the ball in weird places.
Jamal Murray has a good night, and then Torrey Craig plays well, and then they win. But should we move on to the next game?
Houston and Dallas. Dallas are retarded at Blues play.
They just threw it away, man. Like the weirdest thing, Luka Doncic comes up the court with about 12 seconds to go. They don't call a timeout. Like, what are you doing? Call a timeout. He dribbles up the ball up the court. He kind of tosses it to Brunson in the corner. There's 3 seconds on the clock, and Brunson tries this drive and just, oh no, and then gets blocked. It was just like, they threw this game for sure, man, because why would you not call a timeout? They had 2 timeouts.
Yeah.
And they were only 1 behind, so they didn't need a 3-pointer, and they give it to Brunson on the perimeter, and he kind of just tries to drive and then has to jack up a shot because the shot clock's about to expire, or the game's about to finish. It was just weird. But no Brokoff again. I'm blowing up about no Brokoff.
Anger's Ben. All right, next one, Spurs and Bucks.
Yeah.
And again, how the
fuck did they beat the Bucks, man? It's crazy. Crazy. Oh, actually, I did look into this. I don't know how they beat them. It's because they had a crazy away trip. They got in, I think, that morning to play that night, and they came out real hard. They started the game and they came out hard, and then by the end of the game, you could see them all just running around like, tired. Even Bledsoe looked tired, and Giannis looked tired, and then LaMarcus looked pretty fresh in this game.
Okay,
like, sweet. I'll take over, guys. 29 points,
Paddy
15 rebounds.
had a rip-roaring game. Yeah. 16
He's
points.
Been playing really well,
he has.
23 men, 16 points, 5 of 10.
Plus 23 on the night.
Yeah, 2 rebounds, 4 assists. But they were down by a fair bit at the start of the game.
Yeah.
I think they were down by 12 or 15 or maybe even more than that.
Come back. But LaMarcus had a good feast. DeRozan is all mid-range, no line. Playing well, but it gets exploited on the defense, though. I think his defense has gotten worse. It's kind of,
are you Kawhi? No. But what do you do, man? That team, they're missing Rudy Gay at the moment, I think, too. Bertans has stepped up. Bellinelli's still taking ridiculous, leaning, fading flows, shooting these crazy shots. Must anger Pop heaps. But then White and Forbes have been playing really well for. And then it's really weird to see Paddy getting 23 minutes a night, yet these emerging guys, White and Forbes, are still at the same time playing really well. It's weird because
he still plays well, Paddy.
He plugs in so well. Plus, he plays a lot of crunch time. And for a Spurs organization known as a team who builds plans for the future and builds that way, they've got a lot of really good players. Forbes is looking really good. White's looking good. Lonnie Walker and his crazy hair still got to come back. They look in decent shape, but
they're just can you take a title?
Well, the obvious problems are LaMarcus Aldridge is a little bit. If you get a big body into him, he struggles. And then DeRozan's kind of get to the rim or mid range, and they're a little bit. That strategy's a little bit antique.
Yeah.
And
it's weird because you look at the West and it's such a tight packed group in the West, and you look at the teams who could really take a title. It's probably Houston and Golden State. That's it, really.
Well, OKC have looked all right.
They've looked all right at times, but they're just one Russell Westbrook meltdown away from,
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't. This isn't racist, but I think that fan said to him, get back down on your knees where you came from. I don't think it was a slavery thing. I think he was talking about how Russell Westbrook is a homosexual. That's what I think it is. Because where he blew up that Jazz fan.
Yeah. Fair enough too.
And the Jazz fan said, "Get back down on your knees."
Oh no, I
And I don't
didn't look
think
into it.
if I'm hearing that right, it's because he thinks he's a cocksucker, not because he's a slave. Like who thinks about I'm going to pay this guy out because he was a slave? That's not right.
No,
It was more about because it's pardon.
But
It is
Utah.
It's white power.
We say from the other side of the planet,
Yeah.
like in Australia, mate. But I still like Westbrook still had a decent season this season.
He's starting to shoot again.
You're going, maybe he's
starting to hit 50%
back to
on
being
a night,
the player that he used to be. And he's coming good at the right time of the year. And then Paul George is pulling them out of the fire. How do we get on the OKC? But we should probably move on to Toronto at Cleveland.
Was this the chunk of the year?
Yeah, they lost. And the Ibaka fight. Jesus.
Yeah.
How insane was that? I was watching that, and through the game, Chris did a few, like, not dirty things, but just dodgy basketball things, not to blow up like that. And then he must have said something to him or something, because he blew up, grabbed him, and just started throwing haymakers. Like,
Pushed
Chris
him
just
over.
stood there. Like, I'm surprised he even got a game for that, because he got 1 game suspension. Like,
Yeah, he
got
did throw a
nothing for
punch.
that. Oh, he did?
Yeah, he threw a punch.
After, yeah.
Yeah.
But he did
But
nothing.
he wasn't the aggressor, so that's why he only got 1 game. But
That
yeah,
was
Barker was just like,
crazy.
oh, shit.
It was like, whoa, brain snap, man. Massive
I think when they
brain
were
snap.
losing as well, that's always a hard one.
Yeah, they were down 15 or something at that point. But he must have said something. I don't know. It was weird. But yeah, the Cavs pulling it out. No, Dean got some garbage minutes. Delhi still in concussion protocol. It's good to see the Cavs get a win. It's kind of weird, their situation. They've got to lose. Probably they're not going to catch Atlanta, who look like they're free. And then they've obviously got 4 games up on New York. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like, we can win some games here. And
Yeah,
it's not
but
going to matter.
like, it doesn't matter how far down the lottery pick do you want to go. It's not
They've gotta
tanking for Zion
increase
anymore.
Their odds. What do you mean? What do you mean it's not tanking for Zion anymore?
The Knicks are tanking for Zion.
Yeah, but they all are. The odds, the lottery odds have all increased a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
So they're all jostling. It doesn't matter how low they are. As long as they're in that bottom 3, I think they all get the same.
The same percentage.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they've got to lose. And then obviously you look at Dallas has 27 wins and they're 14th second last. So there's plenty of buffer zone there. They don't have to win that many. Even Atlanta's in for Zion really now. And the Lakers, if they somehow finish under Memphis, they might even get in on it.
No, they wouldn't get
It's
in.
crazy.
I mean, there's some good picks. There's RJ Barrett, Rui Hachimura. I'd be going for the Rui. I really
Rui's
would.
out now, but they got beaten by
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga got beaten by
St. Mary's.
with all the Aussies and Kiwis. Yeah, crazy. That I'm gonna try and watch a little bit more of that March Madness coming up.
March Madness. All right, let's move on to Detroit and Brooklyn. Brooklyn, and this is the game that they chunked.
Yeah, they just
75 points. Thon had a good game though. 5 points, 2 rebounds, 3 blocks, -5 on a 30-point loss is pretty good. But again, the Nets are like that. This is the Nets and Brooklyn season. It's 3 great games followed by just 3 terrible ones, and they're not going to win a 7-game series. That's really what it is. Is they might pick 1 or 2 games out of a series, but they're not going to win a 7-game series. They can't put a stretch of 4 games together where they look decent. Either team. We'll move on to OKC and Jazz, and
now we can talk about OKC.
The
revenge tour, man, a revenge sweep. After that final series, they came through and they won all the games this season, and the OKC team looks like a different beast compared to this Jazz team. It does.
It means Paul George is not quite MVP, but he's having a most
insane season.
Insane season.
And then if he dies at the end of this season, like that's what happened in last year. Like he kind of just was terrible in that series against Utah. It's different now. Like he's really good, so he's going to have to die in the finals basically for them to start losing games and maybe have a meltdown and go out. Are they looking at a series at the moment? Utah looks like playing Denver.
Jazz Nuggets. I think Jazz might take that.
OKC might play Portland, so that's not a bad series either.
No.
But yeah, Joe Ingles, 30 minutes, 5 points, 2 of 9, 1 of 7, 8 assists. He's Paul George has kind of made it a mission to just destroy him on the defensive end, and they kind of really did it a lot.
Yeah.
Like I love Joe Ingles, but defensively he just kind of is a liability in a series like this where they just calculatedly target him. And then they kind of target him off Rudy Gobert too, which makes it even harder because Rudy Gobert's not that mobile. They don't have that small center to play. So it'll be really interesting in a 7-game series where they're going to get minutes. Like Favors and Gobert are kind of similar. Royce O'Neal can maybe play a little bit of power forward, but they don't have that small center. They don't have the fast guy who can put a body on someone against a team like OKC, who's just every guy is long and athletic. They've been like that for years now. Every guy's long, every guy's athletic. Good luck type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, Steven Adams, I think, would take a lot of them to town. And Westbrook's looking really like a better shooter.
He's been heaps good
yeah,
in the
he's
last 23 points. Whereas I'd be like, shoot the ball, Russell, shoot the ball.
Yeah,
now you're like,
oh
no, somebody get on Russell Westbrook. He's shooting well now. Damn it.
But yeah, this was the game that Russell got into that heated verbal argument with the fan, claimed that he said, get back on your knees.
Well, they banned the guy, didn't they?
Banned him for life.
Yeah, well, they obviously have got something on him then to do something
I think he said it. I think he said it.
But you don't think it was racial?
I'm thinking it's more a gay joke. Like, you're a bit of a cocksucker.
Man.
Yeah, it's bad, but like, you're a cocksucker versus get back or you're a slave is not...
Don't run the risk.
It's chalk and cheese, you know.
But don't run the risk of saying something that could be misinterpreted. You're a fan. Have a seat.
Yeah. Just call him a dickhead. That's the best way to do it. If he's being a twat, just call him a twat.
He reacts though as well. Like
he
imagine
does.
How many different players get abused? He's always Russell Westbrook's always the one that comes up in these clips, like slapping phones out of hand, He's like assaulting people in the crowd. Like he takes it so seriously, man. Like
he does. It was actually Enes Kanter was interviewed by Colin Cowherd the other day, and I was listening to it from back in the day when he was at OKC. And he's just like, Russell Westbrook is just like fucking intense.
Yeah. He looks like an intense dude.
It's just intense. Like if you play up, he will just yell at you. Like there's no fun. Basketball is war. That's what he thinks he's going to war every game. Yeah, but it's never won you a fucking championship. So.
Yeah, but there's a lot of different things. I still like the intensity that he brings. He's a very talented player. It's just a shame that things seem to happen to him. I'm not saying like he's the victim or... No,
he's not. Well, I mean, you know, if it is a slavery mark, it's terrible and that guy should be banned for life. But if you're a cocksucker...
But what were we sitting like 35 rows back yelling some pretty gross shit at Melbourne? When
exactly. So none of it, you know, racist related, but you're a cocksucker was probably one of them. All right, let's move on to the Celtics and Clips. And the Clips just ran up 140 points.
I know, they got trucked. It was insane. I was watching this game. Lou Williams was ridiculous, man.
Yeah, he's a good player.
I don't know how he gets and ones. Like, they need to divert some of NASA's budget to work out why they can't call a James Harden travel, and they always call fouls for James Harden. They need to divert some more of that money to how Lou Williams just gets all these and ones all the time.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's weird.
He's
crazy.
He's a quiet achiever. Definitely a quiet achiever.
What did he become the highest
scoring bench player? 11,147 bench points.
That's insane, man.
Yeah.
And he's a super talented player as well.
Very talented. Could be a starting 5 player on any team. You know, it's just he likes to come off the bench, and the Clips like having him off the bench. And
but his game is really suited to that, really. Like kind of undersized guard who likes to operate in the holes. Yeah. And that's where he gets a lot of points off the bench, scrambling. Who's got that guy? Like type of stuff. That's where he scores a lot of his points. But I don't know what the fuck happened to the Celtics in this game. Last game of a 3-game road trip.
Probably tired. Gordon Hayward not, performing as he does most of the time.
Gallo was pretty good in this game too.
Yeah, Gallinari. But then they get abused by Philly, so it's all good.
Baines, 9 points, 9 minutes, 2 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Not bad. -10, but...
Yeah,
move on. Cavs 76ers.
Yeah, Cavs 76ers. This was a bit of a turd of a game, to be honest with you.
Stubborn Cavs.
Yeah, it was just bad. It wasn't even stubborn Cavs. It's just kind of like, this game is always going to be Philly wins. They're just cruising. Simmons went to town, 26 points, 6 of 8 from the line, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal.
Yeah, it's good.
This is the game where Deng was just standing in the corner yelling at people to pass him the ball, and everyone's just like, I'm just doing ISO, so you just stay in the corner. 2 rebounds. When asked how Joel Embiid's overall in performance, he said he was trash. He ended up with like 19 rebounds, 17 points, 5 blocks or something crazy like that. Blocked a few at the line at the end.
Oh, this was the one where he had that, like he missed the layup and then just slammed it home, like insane slam. But Ben Simmons looks like he abused Colin Sexton a lot in this game.
He looks like they've finally got him in a matchup where he is just able to abuse guards.
Yeah, with smaller guards.
Because, everyone's
and
a
they've
smaller
got small,
guard.
like Nwaba and Sexton are pretty small. And even Mike Scott, I think, shot a shot over someone in this game and gave you're too small to guard. Because they do have, like, the Cavs do have an array of small guards. Like,
yes.
Nwaba's quite small.
Delhi's small, but
Delhi's, I think, 6'2", Nwaba, I think, 6'3", and then Sexton, I think, 6'2" as well. So they're not supersized, where you're looking at the way the NBA is going and ball handlers and guards are basically forwards now type of thing.
Well, they've got to be 6'5", really 6'5" athletic to be a substantial guard in the league and get anywhere. Probably, Donovan Mitchell and Westbrook at like the lower limits at being 6'4". But yeah, Mike Scott played quite well this game. Redick finished with 17 points, better night for Redick, and
Simmons, 10 rebounds. The other Simmons, which Simmons are we talking about?
Jonathan Simmons.
Yeah, he played well. I think he bricked a dunk.
He did brick a dunk. It was terrible.
But he looks like he can have a real role as
But I mean, the Cavs this game, no Kevin Love, no Marquise Chris, no Tristan Thompson, no Dellavedova, and no Larry Nance Jr.
Larry Jance Jr.
Yeah. Larry Nance Jr., who is a terrible player anyway and a terrible human being.
Larry Nance?
Yeah.
Oh, dagger through my heart. I like Larry Nance, man.
Have you seen the footage where that kid goes and asks him for an autograph?
Oh, no, I haven't.
And he's just like, go away. And then he goes up to Kevin Love and Kevin's like, yeah, come. I'll give you this. Do you want a shoe? Do you want a bag? And he's like, I just want Larry Nance's autograph. And he's like, no, go away, kid. I don't want you. And then there's Kevin Love just like accommodating, stopping, talking to him. He's like, this guy is a superstar. This guy is a twat. Yeah.
Oh, now
you know. Now you know the
Larry
truth.
Nance.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on from that game. Less said about the Cavs, it's better. Fucking bong water of the NBA.
They really are.
It's just
Spurs at the Mavs. 112-105. This was another game where the Mavs were in it right at the end, and then just a bunch of stupid plays, and then
Doncic has been like a bit null void down the stretch. It's just like, Luka. Yeah,
where did that go? That's just disappeared. And sometimes giving the ball up, and you're like, you guys are tanking, aren't you? No, not tanking, man. No, we're just losing games. Like, fuck off.
They're waiting for the Euro conversion to start next year with Kristaps and Luka.
Yeah, but they've still got to sort out some of that roster. Like, they've got a few too many guards.
They've got a few too many guards.
Brunson and Finney-Smith, they got to sort out. Powell and Kleber and Mejri, they got to sort. Like, there's some.
They need to drop two. Maybe get some G League talent just to prop up.
They got Costas, Antetokounmpo.
Yeah. Too. Yes, they do.
And someone else that they traded for from Philly as well. I can't think of who it is at the moment. Ray someone, not Ray Turner, Rainbow Ray Turner.
No.
Ray someone. DeRozan played pretty well, 33 points. LaMarcus Aldridge, 28. Those two have been pretty good, working a good two-man game.
Dallas 6th straight and 11th in 12 games. This is why they've just they're on the hard.
Their season's over. They can't make the playoffs now, I don't think. And they're second
not
last. They've got 27 wins and they're second last. Like 27 wins in the East will put them 11th. Like within shot of the playoffs. But in the West, it's like not even close.
Yeah, the West is kind of that. But I think that we will see a champion from the East this year.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Pistons Heat, and the Pistons are crap.
Yeah, that's
a good game for Thon though. Thon played really well, 8 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks. But 74 up against the Heat. The Heat are weird.
That second half where they just went 0 of 11 out of the gate.
Yeah,
pretty much lost them the game. They were down by 20, and then that was it. 21-0 run, 21-0 run.
It's kind of like Goran Dragic is like on the out, and they're just like, oh yeah, we plugged in Justice Winslow when he was out for half the year, and like, oh this is running better. But I think once they get Chris Bosh's cap space is off this year, this is the last year. D-Wade, it's going to be $40 million they're going to have in cap space next year.
Who are they going to get by?
No one, because no one wants to go.
Yeah, there's no one really. The free agent class is kind of a bit awful.
Well, I think everyone's going to the Knicks or everyone's going to the Lakers.
There's a bit too many, and the Clippers are in there as well. Like there's a bit too many. There's a few too many franchises where they're better destinations for me.
Yeah,
like they're kind of we're here too, Miami. Like, but I don't know what's going to happen.
Eric Spoelstra's a great coach. Yeah. I think they need to draft well. Maybe get a couple of
big guys, like a lot of big beefy dudes. So
Will we see them in the playoffs? I don't think so. It'd like to be. It'd
What
be
are they
nice.
sitting at the moment?
9th,
8th.
Kind of a bit of a chunk there with the Hornets, and
They lost to someone else too, the Bucks, I think.
Yeah, but they're always going to lose that game.
They were up by like 15, and then the Bucks just ran them down and beat them.
But that's the Bucks though. They go cold for 6 minutes and shooting 3 points, and it's kind of like they're down 20, and then they go hot for a quarter and they score 50 in a quarter. You're like, oh
yeah, they're back in the game.
Nice. They've just won the game. Let's move on to the next game. Jazz and Suns. Good win for the Jazz. Joe Ingles played really well this game. My God, 15 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. Exum back. He's back for the last game.
Where he injured his knee.
It
was the next one. I think it was the next one.
Maybe it was the next one. I feel sorry for that dude, man.
I know, man. It hurts my soul because I want the best for him because he's a great player and he's worked so hard back from a few injuries to get back.
Get there.
Anything else? We're kind of just rushing through again into the end of this because there's a few more games. But I think that we're happy that Utah are pretty much in the playoff picture. I would say that they will get there. What do you think? They're about 7 games in front of 9th spot. I just much prefer to play Spurs and not Utah. Golden State, that is.
Yeah.
There's a few like train wreck teams coming there, like Clippers and Utah. I don't think any of them can kind of overtake OKC, but it's gonna be a massive shootout in the West this year. Like all of those teams, I think, can possibly go to a finals, except maybe the Spurs.
No, I don't think so.
Or maybe Portland.
Portland are good.
And maybe Denver.
Denver won't go. Denver are turd. They've just won games.
You just hate their home announcers.
I hate their home announcers. It's such fucking... Why is this guy playing basketball? He's shit. He is terrible. Can't shoot.
It's so bad.
So bad.
Cavs at the Magic. Obviously, Den got 4 minutes. Same thing. Standing in the corner, getting nothing, and then just got yanked. And you're just like, all right. Then we move to Knicks at the Celts. Good win from the Celts. They were down a little bit in this game.
Yeah, the Knicks have kind of... Mitchell Robinson. Wow, that guy is a good center. Block City. Like, just really good. Averaging like 3 blocks a game over the last games. I think he's made it into the top 10 blocks. He's only playing 18 minutes a night.
Wow, that's pretty
impressive. Yeah, just, a bit of a talent that they found in the rough there. Who's the Knicks owners again? He's such a twat. He's such a twat.
I've just listened to so much Knicks coverage too.
Yeah,
James
it's just
Dolan?
like...
Dolan?
Yeah, Dolan, that's right. He's just like banned some Knicks fan for life because he went, hey, sell the club.
Yeah,
sell the team.
He needs to sell it, man. Because he doesn't care at all.
No, it's just...
He's not in it for the basketball. Like,
no.
He's not there to be... We want to win games because that's what we do. We're Knicks. We want to win. He's there because I want this to make X amount of money, and sweet, I don't care what happens after that.
Yeah.
They're the richest franchise. They're making the
$4
most
billion,
money.
yeah.
I don't know how. But
I don't know how either because they're such a crap team to watch.
It's a big market in New York. That's pretty much why. I think he owns the building too.
He owns Madison Square, yeah.
Yeah, which makes it hard. Like if he's going to sell the team, you're going to sell the building, you're going to sell everything. Like who knows what's going to fucking happen there? It's a mess, but good win anyway for the Celts. Baines in 19 minutes, 6 points, 6 rebounds,
plus 15 on the night.
Yeah, 5 fouls, more foul trouble.
He's always fouling though.
Kyrie 31 points, put on a little bit of a show for his possible new destination next year.
This is the next game was where Dante gets injured.
Yeah.
Wolves and Jazz. Good win for the Jazz. But this, Dante, 3 minutes, 2 turnovers, and bye-bye Patella.
2 blocks for Joe Ingles. More blocks, man. Crazy. I think he's had like 8 or 9 blocks in the last 10 games.
Jesus.
How can you get blocked by Joe Ingles? That's what I want to say. 30 minutes, 12 points, 5 of 11, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. Again, more pocket passes. What's happened with this Wolves team? It's kind of like Karl Anthony Towns went for, oh, wow, Karl Anthony Towns is playing great. And then it's kind of
He is, but everyone else is just turd.
And then Saric, and I don't think Covington's even back yet. He got injured.
No, he's out. He won't be playing for the rest of the season. I don't see why they'd bother. They're not going to make the playoffs. Why risk it? But yeah, that Wolves team was... Derrick Rose has had a great year, and then it was just like, D Rose, most improved player of the year. And this is like, yep, they're out of the playoffs. No one cares about it.
He's always just living on a fine line if he just gets injured, and then it's like...
Yeah, he's been fairly healthy
he's been
this
really
year.
Good this year. But you're always just like, oh, if he gets injured, like it's another injury for D Rose. Mavs at the Nuggets, no Brokoff again. This was Jokic's crazy game winner. Did you see that? Where he just turned and just kind of scooped the ball in, and no one was defending him. And you're like, you sure you're tanking here? Come on, like that loss was a bit sus. But Luka had that crazy dunk at the end of the game. Over like 3 guys got fouled and missed the free throw, and then they inbounded at the other end, and Jokic with a little like scoop floater scored, won the game pretty much
on the buzzer beater.
Yeah.
Next is the Kings and Sixers, and this game was quick, man, to watch. It was just end to end every play.
It's crazy. The Kings are just insane to watch, man.
And the Sixers matched their speed. Jimmy Butler had really played a good game, 22 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, so really facilitating well. Simmons had 18 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. Embiid played really well. Actually, they just looked like a good team. Boban played really well, and Redick was 19 off the bench. It was just like all the starters scored above double figures, and I think Boban had 12 points as well. So they're always going to win games like that if all the starters are playing well and shooting at a reasonable pace. But I think this game, Jimmy Butler really showed why he's still good. You know, he was kind of like the Jimmy when it first entered the Sixers. Just took over a little bit in the mid-range, mid stages of the game. Played a lot of that kind of strong side ISO, banking a lot of shots in. Looked really good, but facilitating for others as well. And happy to play. I think he's happy to play with, like, cause usually he's just like, I'm the superstar in this team. But I think he realizes that he's far from the best player on this team. But he doesn't mind that because they're winning.
Yeah, they've got the right mentality and attitude, and it fits his profile for a team he wants to stay with. It's going to be interesting.
How do you keep that amount of financial together?
I don't know, man. It's crazy. There's still a couple of pieces there that Philly can really turn into something. They need one more probably knockdown shooter.
Shamet was a big loss. Good player.
He's playing really well for the Clippers as well.
Yeah, he has been. I think the second last game we will go through is the Lakers and Pistons.
That was a good win, man.
Good win from the Pistons. Lakers are just trash.
This was the game where LeBron was just laughing in the crowd or something, wasn't he? He had a suit on and he was just laughing at something the entire time. It's just a circus with him, man.
Yeah. It's lost a lot of respect for him in the last 6 months.
But
he could do it at the Cavs because he built the Cavs. Like, this was his team he was drafted to. I think he had every right to just be like, let's blow this up and this is what I want to win. And it took them there. Yeah. But you come into the Lakers, who are a young team, man, you got to be fit. You got to be the father figure and fit in there, not just be like, hey, you go on, you go on, you go on, yeah. It doesn't work. And it's kind of like, Magic actually went against a lot of the coaches' opinions. Like Luke Walton said, re-sign Julius Randle, re-sign Brook Lopez, and they're like, nah, we're getting LeBron. Nah, get rid of these guys. And look at what seasons they're having for the Pelicans. And And you imagine if that had plugged in properly, because they've got so much salary cap space, but they're just looking to get that second superstar. And it won't be Anthony Davis. He'll be off to the Celtics because Kyrie's going off to the Knicks.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Even if they've got room to put someone in there, it's still LeBron plus whatever. And I don't think that's a strategy that can win you games anymore or win championships.
I don't think it can win championships. LeBron's too old.
Even the way he's playing this year, man, he just looks old.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, where a lot of the stuff that he was doing in the last couple of years on his own, it looks like that's gone as well.
Yeah.
Which is
he can still run up a few points and things like that, but
you've got to fit in, and he's never been that guy. He's always been that alpha. I do it my way, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to do it all kind of thing.
Knicks Spurs, the last game, 83-109 win against the Trash Can Knicks.
Trash cans.
Paddy, 28 minutes, 9 points, 4 of 9, 1 rebound, 5 assists, plus 23. So he's been, really influential for this Spurs team.
Yeah, it's
this run, and they look like pretty much cemented. 40 wins, I think they're sitting on.
Yeah, it'd be pretty hard to see them drop out of the top now. So it's good. We're going to have a few Aussies. Probably the Aussies would be saying goodbye to is definitely Cleveland. Say the Mavericks. That's about it at this stage. I think we're going to be lucky with a few of them down the run. I think we'll say goodbye probably the Pistons first week.
First round, yeah. Maybe one of Utah or Spurs.
Spurs first round, but we'll be there to the end with Philly and the Celtics, hopefully, and yeah.
And then we got the Warriors coming online with Bogut.
That indeed, yes.
In the next week and a bit.
Andrew Bogut will be back in the NBA. We'll bring you his first game, obviously, in the wrap up, and get things cracking from there.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
all right.
Thanks on this rainy Sunday.
Yeah, I'm going home to have a nap.
Yeah, that'd be good. All right. Peace
all right,
out, everyone.
Take it easy, everyone. Peace. See you, peeps.
Boop.